friends.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome back to Put Your Pride Down.
Welcome.
Once again, my name is Kurt Turnier. Pronouns he, him, and his.
And my name is Malik Turner, pronoun he, him, and his. And right now, y'all listening to
Put Your.
Oh,
Wait.
we
we were way better off with the first time. All right.
It's fine.
Let's do it again.
Right now, y'all listening to Put
Your
Pride Down.
Yes.
Hey, my
let's
nose
go.
the mic, but yes, indeed. Yes,
all right.
indeed.
We are here. But let's just hop right into it. It's been about 3 weeks since we last touched down with you all, and it's been a little bit of a journey. But we're just gonna check in with y'all real quick. But starting off with you, Malik, what's going on? Where you need to feel supported this week?
This week, let's see. I'll say this week, I'm gonna need some resources. Folks that have been following on social media, definitely a big shout out to, again, Candace, Kurt, and Rabba. We wrapped up my first experiences for a catering service, vegan catering service. And, God been blessing me, and with support, friends, love, and then just drive and push. And so right now I know I need support in regards to resources to help me establish my business, to form that LLC, to form business partnerships, to help me execute things on the fund, just like the funds. I need the funds right now. I don't have the funds in order to solidify my business. So if there's anyone out there that can help me to leverage, I know how to leverage credit in the positive way, but I want to make sure I'm able just to leverage it while I'm able to receive that money back in return. So I need help to gain access to credit. What I mean by that, business credit, help me develop my LLC for the business. Also, someone to help me with the logo. I have a vision, I have an idea, but I want to expand upon that logo for the business. And also just other opportunities. I plan on doing a few things in Maryland and also Connecticut within the next couple months. And I just need some support on just pushing that information out there on social media, whether you plan on purchasing some meals or plan on to just spreading the love on social media. I just need all that support in that way. So help me develop a LLC, get the funds for the business, business credit, and all things of that nature. Again, I'm informed, but not well informed. And so I want to make sure I'm able to partner with the right people to help me bridge this business in the positive direction. Because I already know that when I do have the effort and energy to put into it, that this will market off, expand off on its own. Because I know what I plan on doing is something that this, the food business, the culinary business, I know they're not doing this. And so I know I'm going to move with intention. So I just need help in that aspect to help me to push forward and expand at a higher level.
Right.
Yeah.
And real quick, for those who are new to the platform, Malik does a is in the culinary arts, specifically in the vegan space.
Yes, sir.
So can you talk more about that?
Yes. So right now, what I would say, I'm a self-taught vegan artist. I don't want to just call myself a cook or a chef. I would like to say a creative chef. And so what I usually do, I use everything that's just derived from plants, from fruits and things of that nature. And so I just look for substitutes what I can use to have more of a organic lifestyle. So if you think of like eggs, you can use things in the form of like vegan soy-free tofu, or maybe like a plant-based egg mixture. But everything you can think of when it comes to like any meats or any dairies and things of that nature, I transform that on the vegan side. So again, another prime example, think about like pasta. You have pasta, make meatballs, or have like meat grounds. I replace that with walnut grounds. And so those are some things I've been doing on research. But I've been doing this vegan lifestyle for about 8 months now, transitioning my lifestyle based on what I've been eating from in the past, informing myself on what foods I want to transition, and having a healthier mind, body, soul, and spirit. And so those are some things I'm doing right now. But I cook at home. I haven't replicated any meal since I became vegan. And I think that's really creative. I don't think I see most people out there doing the same thing. I have similar bases when it comes to food, but I use different mixtures of texture, spice, and flavor. And I get down in the kitchen. So if you have any interest or what you want to do to expand in the vegan aspect, or want to receive some meals, Follow me on Instagram _Malik Turner 24. Contact my email malikturner24@gmail.com. And I have a few things coming up for where folks will be able to purchase some meals in the future. So stay tuned. Appreciate that, sir. And back to you. What was the question? How do you feel
The
support?
question was, what do you need to feel supported
Yeah,
today?
Yeah, how about you?
But let me support you real quick, right? Because as humble as my friend is, as my brother is, right?
Mhm.
He hyped himself up a little bit. Said that he is self-taught, right? He's not necessarily, he's a vegan artist, not a vegan chef, right? There's more to his craft. You also mentioned that you don't make any of the meals the same more than once, right?
Not even once.
So let me hype you up a little more, right? For the span of over 2 days, this man led a team of individuals to chef up for a group of professionals and executives in the nonprofit space, in the community advocacy space, out here in Maryland, and people who are doing great work, doing phenomenal work in the community. You want to shout them out?
Oh, that organization?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah. So it's Be More Empowered. They're
Mhm.
located within Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep.
They provide a lot of services around the nonprofit sector, supporting women of color when it comes to different services around healthcare,
Mhm.
around just health services in general. That's all I know from the outside looking in. Don't want to talk too much about that because I don't want to provide misinformation.
Yep.
But I know they provide a lot of services for women of color in that sector of business.
Facts. So back to hyping up my boy Malik here, right? He cooked for a group of, and Be More Power. They brought executive leaders, nonprofit leaders together over a 2-day retreat, two or one 15-day, one day retreats back to back, Friday and Saturdays of 15, or altogether 30 executives, 15 on each day, to bring them together and talk about how and create action steps. Not just talk, because a lot of people, they be out here trying to do better in the community, but they just be talking. But they were creating action steps on what we need to improve, where they currently are, and what were the next steps. And Malik, he led us to cook for all of them, and it was nothing but astounding praise for the effort and everything that Malik was doing, not just on flavor and the texture of the food, but also the presentation of the meals. And that's one thing that people not always, but tend to overlook when it comes to, at least when they are creating meals for others. It's not just about the flavor. Yes, if it just comes down to flavor, then it is what it is.
No, for sure.
That is great. However, you also had a phenomenal presentation as well. He did post about it on his Instagram, which is what again?
Malik Turner 24. That's _MALIK TURNER 24.
Absolutely. And outside of pasta is cool and all. We round applause for pasta, okay? But I'm not here to talk about no pasta. Pasta was amazing. But let's talk about his chicken and waffles, right? And I'm not even gonna tell them what about the ingredients of how it got.
We're not giving that out.
We don't need to do all of that, right? That's for you and your taste buds to figure out when you support my man's here, right?
Yes, sir.
But chicken and waffles.
Oh, Kurt helped with the waffles too. He threw it on the waffles before he gave me flowers. Threw it on the waffles.
Listen, I am a servant of the community. My name is called. I show up for my peoples. Chicken waffles, yes. Also, there was the steak and cheese, the chicken, right? The steak and cheese. amazing. Listen, pasta was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the other meals.
Oh my
Chicken
God.
and waffles, the steak and cheese. And a few days after that, actually, we connected this past weekend, and this man went in on some sloppy joes. Not gonna tell you. Actually,
Yes.
yeah, you mentioned that before. Listen, amazing. Okay, I just wanted to get that off my chest, real quick.
Appreciate you, and gonna appreciate your help too. Because again, I couldn't do it alone. My brother Kurt definitely was able to help out 2 of the days. And again, I'm gonna put this out here as well. We didn't get paid for this. We wasn't looking for no monetary value. We were looking for just access and spreading our love, and also connect with people within the space. So the fact that again, once you call him, he dropped everything he was doing. He was able to help me out for the 2 days, and it was all day, both days. It wasn't 2 hours. It was morning to sundown. And so again, I appreciate you, brother, for your love and support. And I couldn't have done it without you, without Candace, without Raba, and also all the people that was in the kitchen helping too. So appreciate y'all. Much love.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, now back to you.
Back to me. Yeah, real quick. The last 3 weeks, or I gave even like, what do I need to feel supported right now? I'm still unemployed. Like I said, I got unemployed beginning of April. And it's just been a journey. And it's just, I think, comes down to just me supporting myself, me asking for help. I went out to LinkedIn and I posted, "Hey, I'm employed. I'm looking. I'm open to work."
What type of positions?
I'm looking for program manager, director, lead, like leading programs that serve our communities. Primarily Black and Brown, but if the work is also impacting Black and Brown communities, then that's what I am doing. My focus area, my passion area has always been serving as a bridge between those with the resources and those who can benefit from an increase in resources, regardless if that is financial, technical support. My experience is in managing grants, program management, providing a technical assistance, culturally competent programs as well, and telling and using budgets to tell stories of the communities that we are serving. So that's been my bread and butter, especially specifically for marginalized communities. So that's what I've been doing. So I guess that's my where can I be supported. But yeah, so appreciate you sharing. But then let's hop into it. It's also been a few weeks since actually we last recorded. So let's just hop in. Like, how has the last few weeks been? Right? What changes? Where areas of growth? Where you at? What has been happening with you, Malik?
The past 3 weeks have been eye opening. As again, myself, Kurt, Candace, and Raba, they help throughout the catering services, but leading up to that point, I was very nervous and scared. I'm not gonna hold you, just because. Oh, I mean, mind you, this was my very first time doing it. Just first leading a team that trusted me. Actually, me reverse.
Because this isn't your first time, just so you're clear. You've led teams in the past.
Yes, but like in the
culinary space.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay, but this man has years of supervision, experience, 3-4+ years of managing teams.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, like, I'm hyping my man up. Like, stop playing. Stop playing.
Appreciate that. But to start off first, again, I was scared, I was fearful, I was doubtful, and I didn't have any faith in myself. But over the course of those 2 days, I saw a different side of myself I haven't seen before, and I trusted God even more, just because I knew I couldn't go into that to that experience without God, and also without the support of my friends and community. And so, like, I felt happy at certain moments. I was tired, but I always leaned on God. with His power, with His strength, and His understanding. Because those what? Let me see. What 72 hours? Going out and getting the food, going out getting the supplies, cooking, prepping, packing, prepping. It was a lot. It was really a lot, but it was fun though. It was fun. So I realized that I know that I can do this.
Yeah.
Also at a higher level. If I was able to serve 30 plus people for a 2-day experience, and like I said before, we didn't get paid for this. We got paid not in a monetary value, but throughout more of a spiritual and lesson learned. It was a lot of lesson learned throughout that process. We were able to build connections. I was able to trust God, trust myself, and also trust my skills when it comes to the kitchen. Because it's not easy cooking vegan food. What I mean by that, you can over season something, you can under season something, you can over deliver and also under deliver based on your own expectations. Presentation is very important. Time is very important. Consistency is very important. And also just supplies you have in the kitchen. So I thank God again for the experience, for the people that was in the space, for the people I was able to do it with. And then with that being said, I know on the last episode I talked about again with my addiction with marijuana. And right now, today, we're not gonna see, y'all gonna see this obviously on Thursday, but today right now is May 20th, and it's been exactly a week since I haven't smoked any weed at all. And I haven't really thought about it, I see probably sometimes on in the drawer I see like the raw cones and the lighter. I'm like, nah, I don't need that right now, bro. I'm good. I didn't know how it is when I'm smoking weed. I get lazy, I get stagnant just because I'm always busy and I want to slow down. But what we talked about last time, how do you replace? What are some things you need to replace that? And I think a couple of days ago I purchased a new Bible. It was a little bit more on the expensive side, but like it's not expensive. I'm investing into my my own spiritual growth and spiritual understanding. And so I purchased a Bible for my partner Candace and I. And it was a good investment because it's a spiritual investment. I'm investing within God and investing within myself. So I purchased it's a different Bible, which I'm really cool and excited about. It's in the NIV translation, and it's a verse mapping Bible. And what that means, like I looked into it before I was going to make the purchase. 'Cause I want something different. It's more application based, and so I think it has like 5 steps where you're able to. Sorry, it's like a squirrel right there. I'm looking at it. It's 5 steps where it's able to have the verse. Step 1, 2, break down the definitions in terms of the actual text. The Bible verse. 3, it translate into Hebrew language. And then step 1 is the actual verse. Step 2 is the verse mapping from different translations, so you can get it in like King James version or the I think Christian Standard Bible version, different type of versions of the Bible. And then step 3 is the actual definitions, so like literally breaks down like the words of like water and how that water may be determined throughout the actual scripture in the Bible. Step 4 is like action steps, and also step 5 is action steps too. So I know I needed something different moving forward into this new journey, and I'm doing that now. I think I'm going on day 3, so I'm being consistent. I started on Thursday. Thursday. So 3 days. Started on Thursday, and today's gonna be my 3rd day. So I'm doing it more in that night, and it's been very helpful because you know how people say that you hear God differently. People may hear God through nature, through scripture, through their ears, through other people. And I'm silent when it comes from my mouth, but internally, boy, my mouth, my thoughts don't stop. It's always on a recurring basis. So I think now I'm leaning more into the scripture where God is speaking to me through scripture, and I'm able to apply it in small increments of time. And so I'll give myself a little pat on the back because it's 3 days. I don't really have that much money right now. I'm not gonna go into all the finances, but I sacrificed the money that I had and bought those, not just for myself but for my partner, and we're both able to hold each other accountable and apply that on a day-to-day basis. And so like even when I don't want to, when I'm tired, I'm like, I'm going to read the Bible, even if it's a chapter or 2, and then I make sure I apply and do pretty much like the Bible word. And it feels good. It feels good, man. I'm glad I'm doing that so far. And I think that's really the highlight of the past 3 weeks is the vegan culinary experience, purchasing the Bible, NIV, Bible verse mapping, And also just some other things I'm working on the back end. Again, pay attention. Soon come. There's gonna be some things posted on social media for to purchase some food while I'm in Maryland, while I'm in Connecticut. But those are some things I've been working on, man, so far, and it just feels good because I'm replacing time that I used to smoke with weed by just going to the gym, by stretching, doing yoga, and then again adding on addition is the Bible and being more consistent with that. So it feels good.
Word.
Yeah.
One thing I want to highlight, or a few things I want to highlight with you, is that one is two things that so Malik talked about like the consistency of the food, too much or not enough, all that. But two key things that you did not mention that we need to highlight is your relationships with people in that space. Right? Two things that Malik mastered in that space that you also need to give yourself a pat on the back for is how you manage relationships with people in that space. That could have been a very toxic environment, right? Because there were a lot of reasons to be stressed in that environment. One, like the staff had their people that they had coming in. I mean, it was a wellness retreat. So last thing I would connect to a wellness retreat is stress. But the management of people and building relationships with people is not always easy, and people always don't do it well. But you blew that out of the water. Oh yeah, you blew that out of the water, right?
Appreciate you.
Because they had their own stuff going. Like even without us being there, they were managing their own people. But when we walked in that morning, that early Friday morning at like 8 a.m., actually, you were there since like
6:30.
Yeah, 6:30 a.m. I'm not a morning person. So I got there around like 8. Be honest.
It was on God's time.
All in God's time, yes. But when I got there and everyone had got there, first thing that you said, Malik, was, hey, this is gonna be a fast paced environment. I'm gonna be asking a lot of you all. If there is something that you need, please let me know. I'm gonna be doing things. I'm not gonna be able to read your mind. So if you need something, please let me know. If you need a quick break, please let me know or let you know. Right? So you set the tone from the jump that, hey, we're gonna be moving. I'm gonna be doing a lot. You're gonna be doing a lot. If you need a moment to chill, please communicate that. Right? So from the one, you said you set the expectation of what the environment was going to be. You didn't BS that, right? You also let it be known that you'll be doing a lot, right? But then also you will be asking a lot of us as well. You followed through, my brother. Like you did ask a lot, but because you set the expectation. I'm sorry.
Nah, keep it real.
It's true. It wasn't too much, right? But it was like it was cooking. I cooked. Not Malik, but I cooked. So like it wasn't anything crazy. But like I think what was a lot, which wasn't a bad thing. Malik is very fine to the details. The details, like cut it this way, and then after you do that, what really got me.
Oh, let me hear it.
What really got me was, so one thing you should do is, and even though on the bag it says pre-wash regardless if it's vegetables or fruit. When it came to the salad, right?
I knew you were gonna say
I
that.
think you should regardless on the bag if it says it's pre-wash. I think you should always wash your food.
Don't trust that. Don't trust that.
I know there are things that like, you shouldn't clean your chicken. No, you should always clean your chicken or your other meats. All right. But my point in saying that was like, you were like, massage the greens. I was like,
you got to.
Like I usually just wash my greens. Like I just put it on the water, rinse it out, right? Do a little 1 and 2. All right, cool. And it takes me like 15 seconds to wash my greens. You want me to massage the greens?
Yeah, massage them, bro.
I was there for 5 minutes, just like I don't know why. But when I say that Malik was asking a lot, it was things like that. That like it was the finer details that does create a better experience for the people who are you are
Exactly.
serving the food to. So you communicated that it was me a fast-paced environment. You communicated that um, that you're gonna ask a lot of us, but
Mhm.
then you communicated, but then you backed it up, and you said that like if you need some time to yourself, take that time. Communicate that you need time. I'm not the person who says that I need time. I don't really ask for help. Um, and there was one point where I think I was massaging the greens actually.
Yeah.
um, and I was clear off. I was thinking like, because once again, unemployed, finances just not being all the way secure the way that I would feel most comfortable. Right, and that was heavy on my mind. But I think by the time I was already like 3 weeks into unemployment, I think at one point like I was like my hands were in the water. The water was running, and like I just didn't move. And Malik like was looking at me from across and it was an island kitchen with the kitchen with the island in the middle, and Malik was sitting right across from me, and he was like, "Yo, like you good?" And you asked me that about like three or four, 3 or 4 times. And I at first I'm like, you know what, just go outside and clear your mind. So I really appreciate that.
Of course.
Um,
Of course.
because yeah, and you follow through. So your communication with us as people who were helping you, right? Even because people used to kind of tend to be like, oh, you're doing this for the good of your heart. Yes, but like, yo,
Yeah.
like people have real things that are going on and does impact how they work. So I appreciate you doing that. So with us as people who were helping you and the people who you were serving,
Mm.
that also you didn't mention that. So I need to give you your flowers on that as well. That you were communicating with people on like with the timeline of the meals. He had a whole presentation, so it wasn't just the food that he had pre, pre presented. There's this thing called Blick
Oh yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Blick.
Blick
I think it's Blick. It's like a
Bilc
Q, something like
whatever.
that.
It's some
Like an online business card.
Yeah, it's an online business card, right? He had his portfolio of work. He had his menu of what to expect, um, and all his, and then there was a a QR code that asks to scan it,
Hmm.
and people actually were scanning
Yeah.
your were scanning it and connecting with you. So you want to make sure that it was more than just the creation and preparation of the meal. There was management of people. There was management, or there was relationship building, and then both um, in person because you were talking to people,
Yeah.
right? Like it wasn't like I know what I'm doing, like get out of my way. Like no, like it was very like we're doing this together, right? I'm here to serve you and serve a purpose. Let me do that and let me know how I can continue to better assist you all. Two,
Appreciate it.
you were talking about new beginnings as well,
Yeah.
and that's also where I am at. Um, I'm also in a space of new beginnings, career wise, mainly, in personal spaces as well. Relearning myself, relearning to be and one thing that I heard when we were at the retreat was being a master student, and I think
Mm.
sometimes I struggle with, and I get told this a lot. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm extremely hard on myself, and and I think that's because I always want it to be seen that I know what I am doing,
Yeah.
and in that I don't necessarily ask for help, and I'm not comfortable asking for help because it seems one like an inconvenience to others to stop them from what they are doing,
Hmm.
but then also I want to be seen as a leader, and sometimes one of the individuals at the wellness retreat said before you are a master leader you need to learn to be a master a master student. So that is one thing that I am now learning to incorporate in my day to day as well. Just being a student at all times and just being okay with asking for help and saying anything. Nothing that I also need to incorporate more is not just asking for help, but being specific into what I'm asking for. Talk about what I have tried and what I think will work. Like whenever people ask for help, it's kind of easy to ask for help, but come asking for help empty-handed. Like if you really don't have anything to offer, then you have nothing to offer, right? But people want to see, before people want to help you, they want to see that you tried. And I do try. I just don't communicate. Communicate that. So when I'm asking for help, I need to do a better job of communicating. Hey, this is what I've tried. This is what I've researched. What are your thoughts? And is there something that I'm missing or something that I need to keep looking at? So those are a few things as well.
Thanks for sharing that too. And I'm gonna throw a little challenge at you.
Okay.
So since the self mastery tool was presented to you, not saying you didn't know that, but like they pretty much just brought it to light.
Yeah.
What have you done ever since then? It's been 3 weeks.
Really asking for help or like
I'm sorry. The self mastery tool and also asking for help or like putting that pride down to open up yourself more to ask help in order to get past a certain measure, or get past a certain goal or achievement you're trying to get towards to.
So I guess one thing that I do is I think before First Fuse I was just relying on like my resume to get me jobs, because I feel like I have a pretty strong resume.
He does. His resume strong, boy.
Appreciate that, bro. And
sorry, real quick. What's your LinkedIn so they can follow you?
It's just my name, Kurt Turner, KURT space TURNIER. Or if you want to do a HTTPS ://www.linkedin.com/ there's like a little thing in there, then / then KURTTURNIER. If you want to be specific.
Yes, let them know how good that resume is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like I have a strong resume, but I guess in putting my pride down and asking for help, I reached out to my network, say, hey, do you know of any positions? Because normally I would be like, I'll just put my resume out there, apply for jobs, do my cover letters, and just sit on that.
Yeah.
Versus like, same application, and then I will follow up and say, hey, my name is Kurt, or I'll do informational interviews as well. So if there is a position that I am interested in, at an organization that I am interested in, I'll send an email to the HR, or I'll find the person who supervises that position, or even the CEO or the executive director. Say, hey, my name is Kurt. I'm looking for this kind of role. I see you have this kind of role. Can I have 30 to 45 minutes of your time? Or even if there are people who are in the career spaces that I want to be in, I'll just send them a little message on LinkedIn or send them an email. Hey, this is who I am. This is my experiences. I see that you have similar experiences to your past, but then also what you're doing now that I have aspirations of achieving as well. Can we connect for 30 to 45 minutes?
That's what's up.
And that's stuff that I do. So I appreciate you asking that question.
For sure.
So there's that, and then outside of just the professional stuff, I've been resetting my foundation as well. So for those who know me, I grew up in the church. I was in the church 3 or 4 times a week, either for Bible study, or this is my upbringing. As I became my own adult, I kind of veered off and started to explore the world, right? Like most 20-year-olds, I believe. But growing up, went to church, but just about every Sunday. Was active in the choir. Can't sing, but my mother wanted to make sure that we were active in the church. So I sang, and then once I was like, no, I don't want to sing anymore, but I want to serve as the usher on the usher board. I did that. Then I volunteered a lot as a kid too. My parents always make sure that I was active in the in the community, either serving, either volunteering at the library, the hospital, wherever. I was volunteering. So recently, over the last couple of weeks, that's what's been my priority. So I have since I've joined the church. I rededicated my life back to God as well. Um, I was taking a faith and finance course, which incorporated like the readings of the Bible and how it is. There are parts that are encouraging us to be responsible with our finances and what specific things to do, and beyond tithing as well, right? Because I think a lot of times you could go to a church and they'll be like, yeah, you need to tithe, but then like after you tithe, you tithe, or tithe when you can, or tithe when and how you can. One, like they didn't like overemphasize the pressure of it. If it's, they say to tithe 10% of what you bring home, but they're like, yo, if it's just 1, 2, 3%, as long as you're building up to the 10, then do that. But they also talked about budgeting, paying down your debt, having conversations with your loved ones about life insurance. Yeah. And after the unfortunate, but it's gonna come to all of us after someone they pass away, right? What does that process look like? What are the finances involved in that? And it was a 6-week course that just ended a couple of days ago. So I've been doing that as well, and then find ways to volunteer. So the same church, they're also, I didn't go to church I haven't gone to church for many years. And then as I've been going from church to church, what's important to me is not just a church that I can receive a word from, have a consistent pastor, but also a church that is active in the community as well. In this community, they have opportunities every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, to be involved in the community outside of the church. That's so that all led to my decision to not just join the church, but rededicate my life back to Christ and back to God.
Give yourself a pat on the back for that, for sure.
Appreciate that. But that's been the last few weeks. Just being understanding of where I'm at in my life. This is, and you mentioned this. You were going through some new beginnings in the culinary space, and then professionally as well. Yeah. And personally, and same for me as well. This was a complete reset in my life, and I think Steve Harvey or someone said this, because on Instagram, you only follow a select few things, but Instagram wants to throw a whole lot of things into your feed. And one of those things was Steve Harvey, and said that in order to get to where you need to go, life will pull you back, and just like a bow and an arrow, the further you pull back the arrows, and also it takes skill, right? You can't just do a bow and arrow; it's gonna go, because you could hurt yourself in the process if you don't know what you are doing. But with skill, the further you pull back a arrow, the further it will launch, and that's the kind of space where I think that I am now, where life is pulling me back a little bit to show me, one, I need to be humble. I need to put down my pride, and ask for help, and be aware of where I am, and that there are steps, and I'm taking steps, but I need to stop taking such big steps. I need to take big steps, but with stride, and with help. I can't do it alone. And I'm wrap this up by saying, I feel good. I am positive about where the next steps of my life are going to be. I'm positive about this whole experience, on me being fired from my job, me having to slow down, me have to be and learn how to communicate better, completely, and not just what I feel I need to be said, but giving people a full story. And that's where I'm at. So in the comments, please what is your
Yes.
new be what new beginning are you going through right now? Where do you feel like you are struggling with? But then also, what are you overcoming in that process? And for those who are going through new beginnings, because we're all going through something, right?
Yeah.
Like give yourself like clearly we pat ourselves on the back, and that's something that is a learned behavior, right? That wasn't always natural, but give yourself a pat on the back if you're going through a new beginning as well, because you are doing the work. It's not, and I think a lot of times we say that we are trying, but if you're doing the work, you're doing more than just trying, right? You
Yeah,
are
for sure.
you are doing you are doing it. So definitely appreciate you all for tapping in with us and locking in with this time.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, thanks for doing that, man. And
Yep.
like Kurt said, bro, flood the comments.
Yep.
Let us know what y'all doing.
Yep.
Small, even those big wins that y'all going through,
Yep.
anything you're overcoming. So again, let us know. Comment on Instagram at Put Your Pride Down on Instagram. Put your pride down on YouTube. Put your pride down on Gmail, whatever you want to do, and get in contact with us. Because as we shared our stories and our spiritual journeys and what we're going through, we would love to hear from y'all. Like, we want to make sure we have an engaging community as much as possible. So let us know, man. Let us know. And that sounds like it might be good to wrap up. You know what I'm saying?
And real quick, again, shout out to Malik, because we usually
Shout out to us.
inside, yeah. But it's a beautiful day. It was like a smooth 70 degrees. I mean, it's about to rain in a few minutes, so we about to wrap
No, for
out of
real.
here.
Good time.
But as you see, we changed the scenery a little bit. We are outside on the patio. Kids are running around screaming. Squirrels are grilling Malik.
They got some beef
The
meat,
wind
buddy.
is blowing through our hair. It's just a chill day. And sometimes in life you just need to change your environment, change your scenery as well. Maybe this is a new beginning. Maybe we start all the pods out here,
We'll
outside
see.
on the patio. But yeah, man. But thank you again, family, friends. We appreciate you. Keep following us on our platforms, and
Yes,
we'll tap in
indeed.
with you real soon.
Much love.
Peace.